Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Gabrielle Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I have recently been doing a navigating your 20s, just little episodes on my channel. So if you're new and you have not seen the other ones, make sure you exit out of this video, go watch some of the others just to catch up. We have been talking, or today we'll be talking about success. I feel as though right now in my just life experiences, I'm realizing that success is not all about the end point, but also the journey that it gets there. And you have little pieces of success and achievement along the way to get to this big goal that you have. So really just discussing that, getting into the nitty-gritty is all that this video is going to be about, and also learning how to not measure your success, or how to measure your success to understand where your trajectory is going. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. Success is not about just the final goal, but also all the work and the steps that you took to get there. It's a lot about the process that it takes to accomplish that one singular goal. So I thought about this most on my last brand trip when we went to California. I was just talking to some of the other influencers, and they were saying wow, my first 1,000 followers was just such a joyous moment. But it's really every 100 followers you relish in the wow, I got this many more people to interact with me, or this many more people are a part of my family. And I think if you look at the small things and the small parts of your journey that it took to get you to that culminating point, that is so important to think about. Because if you don't think about all the little things and all the little parts that it gets to get there, you're not going to really enjoy the final destination. A lot of times we rush things, especially I feel my generation personally, we are in a rush to have all of the riches, all of the success, the biggest and the best things, but we don't think about okay, I also have to do this to get to that part, and I need to at least work a job for part of this to have this on my resume to be able to even leverage that to get to the next opportunity. So I think if we just take a step back and look at each little small thing, each PR package, each A that you get on a grade, each A that you get on a test, you will enjoy that 4.0 GPA even more. Every paper that you turned in. The other day, y'all, I submitted a 10-page paper, and I really had to sit back and say wow, you just did that. Never in the world did I think I was going to do a 10-page research paper. It was not a analytical my opinions inserted in it. It was all based off of research. So I think breaking those things down and just enjoying each little portion of the success is going to make the final goal 10 times more worth it, and you're just going to really enjoy it 10 times more. One of the biggest things that I've learned this year is that redirection is not a step back. I'm going to tell you guys a few examples of how I really got to this thought process, but that's just kind of something that I've been having in my mind for a long time, because I think sometimes we think if we don't get this one thing, or if we don't meet this one goal that we ultimately had, we're not doing our best. And I've really found that when you understand the big picture of everything that you've done versus this one thing that you did not get, you look at life completely differently. So for example, for the past year and a half, I've been taking real estate courses, and I bought this package. Of course it was expensive, and I was doing the work, I'm gonna get my real estate license by this date, and that was supposed to be last Thanksgiving. So then it didn't work out. I was taking 19 credits, I was doing other things, I was involved in school. It just wasn't the right time. So I was okay, I'll get it over the summer. Over the summer, I ended up having an internship. I didn't even know that I was going to have an internship, but I was being so hard on myself, you still didn't get your license, you paid all this money, you did all these things. But in the process of that, I didn't think about wow, you became a brand ambassador for this brand, you got onto SGA as a freshman, you have an internship. You have an internship this summer, and people are going home and sitting in their bed. There were so many little things that I did not pay attention to, instead of focusing on this one thing that I failed at. And I think that's so important, to just redirect yourself and understand that maybe it's not the right time for you to be on that path and get that thing right now. It may benefit you better if you take a year off or have it later in life. And I think that is so important and imperative to look at. Redirection is not your step back. This is not telling you to give up. It's telling you to look at it a different way, to work harder towards that goal, and it's just not the right time for it right now. And I think when you think of it like that, it truly changes your mindset, but it also allows you to look at what you are doing. Something that I recommend doing, and I'm going to tell you this about a different video when I talk about 2025 and just preparing your goals, but I literally took my notes app. I will show you guys. I went into my notes app and I put 2024 in my notes and I wrote down all of my accomplishments. And that's just part of the list because I didn't even think of everything. But the more and more I typed, I realized that, okay, these 1 or 2 things that I did not accomplish this year is not a setback. It's not the end of the world because I've done so much and I've become so much and I've grown so much this year. So really, I really want you guys to remember that, especially when you're trying to measure how successful that you have been. Along with redirection, I feel like a common theme in your 20s is all about friendships and the relationships that you have and are building. So I think something that's super important to think about and to really recognize is that you are no longer in like a pond with a bunch of other fishes and you're all swimming the same direction towards like high school graduation or some milestone. You are now going to evolve and become the adult that you're becoming. So for example, if I am surrounded by people who aren't interested in entrepreneurship or aren't working towards whatever goal they have and they're kind of just being lazy or not really motivated, I'm going to lead in that direction. So what I think is so important is surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals, surrounding yourself with people who are so adamant about personal development, giving back to their community, supporting others, because you are going to have friendships in different categories. I always say this to everyone I talk to. You're going to have a friend for this, a friend that you go to this with, a friend that you do this with. Don't allow someone that you used to have such a close bond with who is not going in the direction that you want to go to make you veer off of the direction, the plan that you have for yourself. Understanding that there's a time and place for everyone in your life. And if that friendship is not willing to continue, it is okay to just love them from a distance. Like, I have learned so much about loving people from a distance. You can still be a supportive friend. You can still care about them and pour into them, but you do not have to have them hold the same pull on your relationship that they always had. For example, when I left high school, I felt that I had to be super connected to my high school friends to the point that I was not meeting new people in college because I was so connected to checking in on them, calling them all the time, and I was in my room talking to them instead of meeting new people. And that's not to say that I should not still have a connection with them, but it's also that I'm going into a new path in life, a new way in life. So you have to surround yourself with people who are going to help you grow, and you all can grow together, not people who are bringing you down. And I think it is super okay to learn that friendships, and also this goes into relationships too, guys. Like, your family members are there to love you, but if they're not loving you in the right way, if they're being negative, if they're not pouring into you, then give yourself some distance. Because what is not worth it is bringing down all of the things that you were working on, all the things that you're working towards, the new person that you are becoming, because someone else is not able to keep up with your growth and understand that they have to love you as the new person that you are becoming. Something that I really think is another game changer is just focusing on fulfillment. I think in this video we've talked about understanding success, not understanding that redirection is not a bad thing, and trying to just like evaluating yourself on a new scale, but also focus on what is fulfilling you. I realized this year that like trying new things is very important. It helps you grow. But also, if something new that you're trying is not working, do not just force yourself to do it because some guide or some book said that this was the right thing to do. You need to focus on what's pouring into your cup. Because the thing that I will always say is, if you do not fill your cup up first, if you do not pour into yourself and care about yourself first, how are you going to do that for someone else? You cannot do it effectively and efficiently because you are going to be so worried about them and catering to them and caring for them that you're going to get so tired and worn out because you haven't cared for yourself. So as long as you really focus on what is fulfilling you, what is truly bringing you joy, what is making you happy, you will be on the best position to obtain the success you want. For example, if one of your goals is to show up more polished and presentable, but you are not doing the self-care and hygiene that you need to do, whether that be your nails, your hair, your skincare, whatever you decide that to be, you are not working towards your goal. And in that, you might go and pour into someone else and you didn't even fulfill yourself yet. So just always remember, not in a selfish way, of course, have time and space for other people, but pour into yourself. I think this is one of the biggest things that change you as a person, especially when you're developing, like, excuse me, read that book, take that extra time to just like focus on you, give yourself your positive affirmations. If you are a religious person, read your Bible, read your whatever your specific word is, your Quran, whatever that may be, because you have to care about you first, and then you will have a better impact and a greater impact on the people around you. And I think all of those things really determine how you can maximize your success. I think those are some of the 3 main things that I've been doing this year and that I've really seen change my success and my trajectory this year. I hope these tips help. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on more of our Navigating Our 20s little series that we have going on. I love y'all so much. Comment down below something that you've been doing or that you feel like is helping you right now in your 20s. I hope you all have an amazing day, and I'll see you guys in our next video.